Hello everyone, welcome back. Christian Shreve, bestboxingbets.com. You know, they say that you can shear a sheep a lot of times, but you can only skin it once. CJ Ross on the hot seat following Floyd Mayweather's dominant performance over Canelo Alvarez. If you're going to fix a decision, you have to have something to motivate people, and a lot of you have looked at the footage or the links I've provided of a underboss of an untaxed crime family, spilling the beans on how they used to deal with Don King, how they used to fix things with the guy from Cleveland. And we know that an NFL coach not too long ago hid little mics in his opponent's room so we could cheat that way, and that the NBA commissioner, fixed some decisions to help the Miami Heat win the NBA title. Well, about a month ago, we started hearing these rumors. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the mid-1990s when Jose Sullivan defeated Pernell Whitaker through a decision loss to Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. It was a fix. And this fight has just happened. Now, here's the real deal. Behind the scenes, I'm going to break it down later. If, legitimately, Floyd Mayweather Jr. had lost 4 rounds in that fight, by my scorecard, and the scorecard of the person with whom I was watching the bout, if he had lost 4 rounds, he would have lost the decision. Now, when you approach someone and you say, "I want you to fix a fight card," I'm not saying you would, but if someone were to do that, they'd have to have something, some leverage. What would the leverage be? Well, maybe the judge or the official is in gambling debt. Maybe someone in their family is in gambling debt, or has a substance issue, or got in trouble somewhere else. This is not CJ Ross's first time in a real pickle. And what she did is she scored a one-sided bout, a draw. Now, what you can do is you can just say, it'd be useful if you were looking to fix a decision. Say it would be useful to you if you were to judge all the close rounds in favor of this fighter, and that way you can give a sort of objectivity. The problem is if it's more than 3 rounds out of whack with what the general public sees, and the real officials, which are the media who follows this full time, like Teddy Atlas, poor Atlas is just blown up at Ross because he's ethical. Now, she is trying to stand by this decision. The problem was that there weren't very many competitive rounds. And she's also one of the people that was in on the fixing of the card when Manny Pacquiao won a newspaper decision over Timothy Bradley. She rendered a corporate decision the other way, fixing the decision against Pacquiao. Now, I'm one out of 10 who thought the bout was competitive. There maybe 1 out of 15 thought it was competitive and close. I'm one of the 10 who thought it was at least competitive. Did Timothy Bradley get anywhere near beating Pacquiao? Well, no, of course not. He wasn't in the same zip code. He was competitive, he was trying, he was working his way up, but he wasn't there. And was Canelo Alvarez competitive with Floyd Mayweather? Well, no, of course not. So you have a woman, CJ Ross, first big match she judged was 2002, I believe it was, and she's walked a funny line. Now, judging this even, we heard, I don't know how many of you remember or have watched previous posts, that we got the word that Alvarez, his contract had been purchased by a billionaire out of Mexico. So automatically it rendered any idea of people who follow what I say picking a decision winner moot, because you didn't know if Mayweather could win a decision under any circumstances. So what we had was such a dominant performance by Mayweather that even though people like Ross, man, I hate to say it, but I think there's a 99% chance she was on the take. I don't see any other way around it. It happens a lot. something smelled funny going into the fight. There were reports behind the scenes that that there was going to be a decision controversy. That's why I told my people, advised them not to bet, and I didn't post an official prediction at the end, because it pretty early on became not so much an issue of who was going to win within the ring, but who had the clout to carry the decision. Then Oscar De La Hoya, who I hope he makes a speedy recovery and rehab, I really do. But all of a sudden he moves himself out of the picture. The timing of that, along with everything else, it just seemed like the smart play was to stay away. So CJ Ross is burned. You know, if then the commissioner is not going to punish her. If they do, it's symbolic. It's not real. They don't regulate themselves. When they pick somebody they know has been on the take, it's not going to surprise them that their own person responded in their own best interest. You know, we have a Supreme Court judge who rules on Monsanto, which genetically poisons food, and he was a private attorney for them for years and years, and he gets their cases, doesn't recuse himself. His name is Clarence Thomas, and he just goes ahead and renders a verdict. And my word, it's for them every time. How surprising! The Nevada State Athletic Commission is not going to punish her unless it's a show. Yes, probably the fix was in on this, but you don't know what was going behind the scenes. I hope she can retire. I hope that she can go to an island somewhere, because I certainly don't want to see her reffing anymore. In fact, for Nevada, for the next couple of years, if you're the Nevada State Athletic Commission, you're going to keep somebody on the payroll who's on the take. You know, you want to have her bet a couple of favorites. You want to have her do that. If really what's happening in the ring doesn't have anything to do with her scoring, then you want her to bet on the favorite for a couple of times, mix it up a little bit, do a couple of years before she does another blatant fix decision. And as for the people who say her record speaks for itself, and I listened to some clips, someone recently, it is what it is. You know, when you say it is what it is, it's not an excuse for it is what it can be, or it should be what it is. And boxing fans and sports fans and people who are sports investors, they deserve a fair shot. They deserve a fair shot, and that's where the outrage comes from. The the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and any other commission that's going to be involved, they understand that they're being watched. Guess what? They don't care. You're seeing it over and over again. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. As always, it's a pleasure spending time with you. Christian Shreve, bestboxingbets.com. I'm Christian Shreve, and I'm here to tell you about why I think you should own my new book, Money Boxing, which is on sale now. Money Boxing has something for everyone, whether or not you know anything about boxing. You're about to receive a backstage pass into a world of glamour, corruption, and intrigue. And you're going to learn about the system, which is the only thing the casinos have had to fear in a long time. You can own Money Boxing by clicking on the link below now. I think you'll like it.